everybody, it's Tonya here from the Wonder Basement. I am going to, I've got a bunch of stuff to show you and I'm super excited about it. I'm not on camera right now because I kind of had a rest day, but I wanted to get on here and actually show you some things that we did from our live on Wednesday and some new things. Susan and I have been playing around with, I received this Wild Bunch stamp set. Please say hello if you catch this. I'm only on YouTube right now. Long story. But anyway, I will be posting it over in the Stampin' Online fan club, Stampin' Up! Online exclusive fan club, and on my business page. So say hello, even if you watch the replay. And I've got a bunch of fun things to show you. First of all, we're gonna color some penguins. That's pretty obvious. This is the new Wild Bunch for June. It's the product of the month, and I absolutely love it. It is so cute and fun. These animals, they're just really fun to play with, and it's a really all-around good set. It's got a thank you, a happy birthday, and just a note, so you can't really go wrong with it. So we've been playing with this. Our class, this card class for June, is going to be basically, we're going to be using these two stamp sets, the Cutest Crew and the Wild Bunch, and we are going to use the beautiful Ordinary Life DSP Array of Dots embellishments, which is this, and the Extraordinary Life two-tone cardstock, and the product of the month, obviously, the Wild Bunch. So, but what you do, you don't have to get those items. You can actually, if you want, you can get whatever you want. You can get just, if you need to stock up on cardstock, today is the last day for free shipping. It is a free shipping day. And so make sure that you get anything in that you need in. And I am gonna let's see, I've got, so you purchase $75 and you're gonna get the PDF featuring those items. And if you order the your $75 by July 2nd, we will send you the PDF, plus we will send you a one sheet wonder template that we received at convention, or at our on stage, which is basically this little guy. And there's also a template for a 6x6. So it's kind of a fun way to get out of your comfort zone and utilize, you can either stamp your paper, you can use DSP, there's lots of fun things you can do with it. So we're going to be working on that. And some of the things that I have created thus far, I really got into the little oh, what kind of cow is it? I can't think. But he is absolutely adorable. Adorable. And you can see I colored him with blends here, added a little bit of the blush shimmer pen on here, and I cut out the flowers from the Cutest Crew stamp set. So, and then obviously I sequined him up a little bit because, oh my goodness, I've seen so many. I am a huge farm. Hi, Ramona. Glad you caught me. I'm glad I'm not alone. So anyway, I watch a bunch of videos on farm animals, and I just love them. And there are people that have these cows, and they're like mini, gosh, what is the name of this cow? Is it a fair? I cannot think for my life dependent on it. But anyway, so cute and fun to color. It's fun to practice getting texture with your blends. Susan also showed on Wednesday where she stamped this texture in basic beige and then colored over it with some ink, and it comes through, and it also gives you a furry effect. So kind of cool. And these are little koala bears having a party, wishing you happy birthday, which are pretty cute. And this is some of the paper from the beautiful Ordinary Life DSP. One side is all black and white, and then the other side has really cool graphics of different colors. So here's another example of that. This is like a tie-dye background. This is some of the two-tone cardstock. And again, look at that cute little cow. I almost could say I want one, except I'm a farm girl until the flies start biting, and Mom can attest. I do not like to be outside when the flies are biting. I also found these little cute little notebooks, just their little composition folders at Dollar Tree, and I just covered them. And what a cute little gift, or, you know, just to keep in your purse. So this is pretty fun. I'm not completely finished with this one yet, but okay, so on to today's demonstration. This, I have to tell you, we had all of the artists and design team from Stampin'Up. They had made, like, I don't know, 15 different projects, and one of them was with this penguin, and the gal colored this penguin so beautifully. I mean, it was just so cool. Well, I played around with different techniques. I'm going to show those to you today. I love the spinner. Always will love a spinner. But I almost threw these all in the trash. And honestly, I think especially when I look through it through the camera lens, I'm like, I really like them. And they're all a little bit different. They're kind of, some are a little more brown tone, some are a little darker. And so I'm just going to kind of go through what I did. And oh, I forgot I do need... I've got blends, and I've got watercolor pencils, and then I also have the Stampin' Blend Color Lifter. That was the other thing that I used. So I started out with Secret Sea. That's probably my favorite. Hi, how are you? And it doesn't tell me, it says Mel SB, but I don't know who you are, so I wanted to say hello. So, thanks for joining me. This is but I'm going to start out with Secret Sea for my black, and this is really probably this is an in color for the it's only available through the end of this year. Like, it'll change over in next May, I think, but I love this color. It's like a blue green, but it's almost black, but it just is a really soft black. See how that is? Oh. And what I'm going to do is Highland Cow, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am going to go in. Oh no, that was the wrong button. I'm going to kind of go in so you guys can kind of see what I am doing. All right, so I'm taking the light. I always, when I'm doing the blends, I always use the light, and I'm just gonna kind of go over the top here. You don't always need to go all the way to the edge because the blends are going to bleed through. You always want to have a blotter sheet underneath your work surface. And I'm just gonna color this. I may get out of the lines here, but you know, I'm gonna cut these out. So see where I got out of the line there? I can cut around that. I cut it off and you'll never notice it. What I'm telling you here is that I want to encourage you to experiment and not to throw your things away or in the trash, because literally all my penguins were in the trash. And then Susan's like, I think they look kind of good. I really like them. And so I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not really crazy about it. But I took them out, and I'm glad I did because I ended up making a fun card. So I'm just going to, I may have gotten a little too close there. But again, you never know, and especially when you go back over it with this color lifter. The color lifter is just a clear ink medium, and it will, you can see how it's kind of bleeding and blending is what it's going to be doing. And it will also change when you come back to it. So see how, like, I had the eye really blacked out, but now it's not looking too bad. So I'm gonna let that dry, come back to it. I've got some Timid Tiger for my little beak and the little feet. And even, like, see, I got a little black over into my, foot, but in the end, you're not going to be able to tell, and I can really literally go over it with that why am I saying that? The Timid Tiger, until it takes it bleeds it through to the back, and you can get your color back. So really I love these blends. I do love my blends. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna try, and I went with some crumb cake. I did light crumb cake and dark crumb cake. So this one is gonna be more brown. So and this is pretty easy. I'm gonna just this is light crumb cake, and I want a little bit right there. And then I'm gonna take some gray granite in the light. Make sure I'm getting the right ones. And I'm going to put this over the top. And this gray granite is a little, it's a more brown tone of the grays. Smoky Slate's a little cooler. I'm going to even take, I think I'm going to take some Smoky Slate. No, yeah. I want to bring it a little bluer, so this is the light. And you can see kind of how it starts to shade it. But each color is adding to, like, it's blending the colors together into a unique color, because you wouldn't be able to get this with just, just one of the blends. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to take this color lifter, and I'm just gonna go over the top again. Now I think I'm gonna take, I've got some black. This one is the light basic black, and I'm gonna take just a little bit, and I'm gonna go along here, color my little edges. Now, I've got a little bit of line here that I'm not real crazy about. So I'm going to go in with my bullet point, and I'm just going to do I'm going to try and blend this out a little bit. Honestly, guys, this looks, yesterday, this looks to me right now while I am looking at it, looks terrible. It doesn't look as bad when I'm looking on the camera, but I'm like, ugh. But they all looked like that when I did the first round. Let's see if I can. And you can use, this has got a bullet tip and a brush tip on it. Again, because I'm putting so much of this this ink medium on here, it will tend to bleed out on the edges. I'm also doing this a little bit fast so that's Millie in the background. All right, I think I'm just gonna leave that. I'm gonna go back in with my orange. Put a little. And sometimes you need to be patient too. Sometimes I'm not so patient to let this dry and then go back and add some color. And if you keep adding stuff, it's just going to keep bleeding out. So just FYI, I'm not one to be super patient. Okay, one other thing I wanted to do too is I kind of wanted them to have a little bit of a little rosy cheeks. And I have to say, this is dark Barely Blush, but the Barely Blush ink color is probably one of my new favorite inks, new colors, because you can put it just about on anything, and it just gives a little rosiness to your whatever you're working on. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with some watercolor pencils, and I haven't used these in a long time. Again, I'm just going to kind of go in with some basic gray because I kind of want to do it a similar way as I'm doing these color combinations. And so I'm just going to color this down. Now you can use we have water painters, and then also you can use your Wink of Stella. So on this one, I think I'll use the water painter just to show you kind of what it does. I'm going to color and blend before I add water though, because once you add water, it's really hard to go back and add any more. It's real intense color until it dries. Once it's dry, you could add some more, but I'm just going to add a little shading here. Take my little pumpkin pie. And when you're doing watercolor pencils, you don't have to be super, super neat with them. I don't know if I think I'm going to use, okay, I need another little paper towel. So here's my, when you're working with watercolor or watercolor pencils and water painters, one of the things that you have to watch out for is that it can start to, the water can start to break down your paper, and you start to get it, like the top of it will pill and roll off. So unless if you're using watercolor paper, then it's a lot more sturdy, but the ultra or the basic white, you kind of need to be careful. So I'm gonna squeeze some water out. You can see some water coming out, and then I'm just gonna lightly, you'll see the colors start to melt. And so I want it a little darker on the edges, and then I want to blend it over so that it looks like his little belly's right there. I'm going to try and blend those lines out. And I think that this could probably use a little more color, but I'm not going to do it on this one. Just going to let that dry. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to color another one real quick. Let's see, this is basic gray. I'm going to do that again. You should get your coloring stuff out and stamp some images and try this technique or these techniques. Stampin'Up's really good about their images and that they show, hi Mary, okay, I wondered if that was you. Get your stuff out and just kind of, this is the basic black, and with the coloring just kind of play with it. But the coloring pencils like this is almost a brown black. You can see like this is a blue black, this is a brown black. You can kind of see the differences in the this is early espresso. Oh, I didn't like the brown penguin. I should have left that one alone. That wasn't my favorite. So I'm going to stick some orangey here. Put some more. And if you lightly color it versus, like, if you want intense color, you have to press hard. If you want just a lighter color and for them to be easier to blend, you want a light touch like that. So now I'm going to take the Wink of Stella, and it will actually just blend your watercolor just like water will, but it will also leave you with some delightfully snowy sparkle. Well, I say snowy because these are penguins. And I'm no real like watercolor expert, but however, I'm not really loving all of my coloring techniques here. That's what I mean. You just kind of have, now I'm going to go ahead and bring this over, and I'm going to just put Wink of Stella down on his white side. He's been playing in the mud. Is there mud in the North Pole? I would assume sometimes. Now see, with this orange kind of led, and so I just went with it. I just put a little orange here. It won't matter when you put your stuff together, I promise. Even though it bugs me to death, it'll all come together. I'm gonna also put some, this is the these are the new shimmer brushes. I have found you have to shake them really well so that they're nice and shaken, and you need to kind of prime them to get the sparkles to come out. But once it's out, then you can see that I just love those little cheeks. So you can kind of see the difference between the blend and the sparkle brush. But you see how sparkly he is. Let's see, how can I get it this way maybe? Well, you get the idea. I guess it's not all that important that you see that. Okay, so let's see, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna start with I'm gonna do something really out of Penguin Natural, and I'm gonna put the Barely blush down. So I'm just gonna put this all over. And this is what I mean by playing, you know, trying to get out of your comfort zone. So that was the white. Now I'm gonna go back and do some smoky slate. This is light smoky slate. I'm gonna like this one. I can already tell. Okay. And I'm going to do a little dark smoky slate. And you'll see how this little pink underneath, it's kind of like when artists prime a canvas and they put a color down and then they go back over it, and that color kind of shines through, but you don't notice it. Now I'm going to take my blender, or my color lifter. I guess if I wanted to just blend it, just blend this line out, I would use go back to the light smoky slate and blend that dark into it. Oh, I like that a lot. And then I want this to be a little less harsh right here. And I've noticed that when you use the blending, the color lifter, it will kind of texturize whatever it is you're coloring. It's a fun way to make like metal. So see how this kind of, it just kind of blends into this pink. Isn't that cool? And then like right here, you'll see this starts to go dotty. This is the blend that I first used, and that's what happens when you put the color lifter on top of it. You can see it starting to happen here. So you really have to let them dry before you come back and color them or determine if they're in or out of your artwork. So honestly, this is how I came up with these. I just sat down and just colored a bunch of them. You can see some of them are a little more brown. This one has a little more edge to it. It really doesn't matter. Some are a little lighter at the tip, some are dark. This is with the pencil. I think that was with a blend. This was with the pencil and then the Wink Estella on it. So it's really fun. I also took this is a paper, I think it was in the new catalog. It might have been an online release, I can't remember, but it's really cool, and it's got this like shiny texture to it. And what I did is I just laid down Azure, Afternoon, Light, and Dark, blends just kind of like water. And then this is, I said azure and blueberry bushel. So look how that makes a really fun little water scene. And this is a die out of the Cutest Crew die set. So I thought that was kind of fun. Made me think of winter. All right, guys. Well, that is it. And like I said, today I'm not going to be on camera. Oh, a couple things. I just wanted to let you know that Stampin' Up! Does have snips now, and I do like them. They're very similar to our other ones. The plastic's a little bit different, but pretty much I think I really loved our snips forever. So this is a different manufacturer, if I understand correctly, that the other manufacturer couldn't make them anymore or something. So that's where we're at. All right, guys, thanks. I'm gonna just come on here because I can't stand not to talk to you. See, I'm not all dressed up. Yesterday I had a rooster pop. It was terrible. So anyway, guys, thanks for joining me, and I hope I've encouraged you to get your blends out, just stamp some images and play around with them. You really need to mix the colors and see what you come up with, because I think sometimes you can surprise yourself, and that's the most fun in being creative. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.